Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unknown Comics Podcast, episode 61. Hope everybody is having a great evening. So, for those of you watching us live, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live, as well as Whatnot, where we've got some products to sell.
So just so you guys on Whatnot know, because we never seem to know, who are we like going against these celebrities tonight? Shatner or
Any Thursday night celebrity
who's rocking the Whatnot stream? Looking tragic. I don't know. I've seen a lot of good reviews.
There's a lot of people that are just hating on it because of casting issues.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
Like, get over it. It's
they definitely can't bring back the originals. At least some of them.
Yeah.
No, not because of made up lore. Right? It's not real.
It's all made up.
Yeah, it's all. I think the big thing from what I understand, is the Tolkien's had a pretty good hand in this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they gate everything that goes out. Here's the thing about The Hobbit. They approved everything that he did in The Hobbit. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just. Sorry.
I'm a fan of all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited.
I will say the Hobbits are probably not my favorites.
No, I think the original trilogy is definitely better, but it's better than, like, say, this third Star Wars trilogy we got.
You know why I think I don't like the Hobbit as much as the original trilogy is because they relied so much on CG.
But yeah, there is the practical wasn't as much.
Like,
right?
Lord of the Rings was so amazing because the costumes for the orcs and everything were just, the prosthetics and everything were just so good. It ages well.
Yeah.
It looks like a movie that, I mean, it just doesn't look like a 20-year-old movie, and it is. That is weird to think.
Yes.
That's 2 decades old. But like The Hobbit, I mean, they look CG, you know? What show was on not long ago that they said the acting was bad in the first episode, but it got better the longer the season went? I mean,
every show you've ever seen. Because in most cases, these actors are trying to fill out that role. So I feel like almost every time you watch something series-wise, it just gets better and better because they figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's just complete trash writing. But if the actors can fill out the role and figure it out, I mean,
yeah. JDM on Whatnot says also bad frames per second on The Hobbit, and that was true, but that was mainly for the theatrical release. Once you got the home release, it went back to a lot of the home release was back to 24.
Double up the frame
They
rate?
did a 48 frame release, but like I said, by the time you got it home and put it in your Blu-ray player or streamed it,
twerking She-Hulk. Yeah, that was weird. Did you watch the mid-credits?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
hey, they're having fun with it.
Somebody already put a video of Mark Ruffalo dancing to that same song as well.
Just twerking.
There was no twerking, but it was him dancing to it. Yeah.
Darn it. So, yeah. All right. So as we said earlier, Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power premieres tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone stateside, continental stateside.
Yeah.
So, you know what? So I'll be honest. I have not really watched a lot of trailers. I kind of just really wanted to go into this
not knowing.
I mean, I do know like Galadriel is a major character, and Gil-galad's in there, and characters that I know from Silmarillion and all those things. But I don't know exactly where they're going to go with it, and I'm kind of excited.
Timeline-wise, it's thousands of years. It is at least 1,000 years.
It is the beginning of the Second Age.
So it's definitely in a different timeline.
Yes.
So
yeah, and I'm excited.
Star Wars went back 300 years, and Lord of the Rings said, "Hold my beer."
Well, Dune can really eat both their lunches because
they can go all over the place.
It can go back thousands of years. So
I know Eddie Brock can go wherever he wants, so I guess he's probably the winner of all of it. Right?
That's right. He does like time jump now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he can go to any universe at any time, as long as there's a symbiote.
Plot holes covered.
Yep, no problems.
No problems there.
Yeah, Sony's like, we got this.
So okay, hold on. I have not been reading Venom. I've been mainly reading X books. Not mainly. I've been reading all the freaking X books.
Yeah.
And I'm caught up up to today.
I'm proud of you.
I know. I'm a good reader.
Yeah. You used to be 6 months behind. Now you're like, no way. I get store credit. I'm going to get me some comic books.
So, who's Venom now? Is it Eddie or is it Dylan?
I think both of them. Technically, I think Eddie's been King of Black. So somehow here, I haven't. It's kind of behind right now, but I think I read the first 4 issues of the current series, and I haven't read it since. Definitely behind. But both of them.
Okay. Well, that's weird.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
So like, are they like?
Now it's
dimensionally different. Like, I'm confused. Help, chat. Help me understand.
Yes, right, Andrew. Yeah. So, Eddie,
because Eddie died.
Eddie's body died.
Okay.
And now he's just a floating brain that goes into any symbiote he wants to be in.
Because he's part of the network, the symbiote network.
Correct. Yeah. And then
the
Venom symbiote and Dylan are together.
So they're the physical. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Weird. Mm-hmm. Okay.
King of symbiotes, King of Black. You got it.
Okay. That helps. I will say, so to kind of spur onto that, since I am caught up on X-Men. So, Judgment Day is here, or AXE.
Yep.
I've actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
Because I could give half a crap about the Eternals. I'm sorry.
Were you worried about the kind of rewriting of history that they kept talking about, or is that actually something that's happening? Again,
I don't know if it's happening. Because I will say, since the Hickman happened with House and Powers,
yep.
I've been waiting for the shoe to fall on the Krakoan dream, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just you know based on Powers of 10 that it doesn't last. Mm-hmm. You just don't know how it finds the end or how long.
Yep.
So every time these big crossovers have been happening, it's like, well, is this it? Well, is this it? Well, is this it? And I don't know that this is. There's nothing so far, because Judgment Day 3 happened last week.
Yeah. And then you're gonna have all these spurs off of it. X-Men, Avengers. There's different.
Yeah, it's going till
as well.
It's going till December.
Yeah,
I believe. I think there's like one book in December that's part of it. I've enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't want it to be AVX all over again.
Yeah.
And it's X-Men versus Inhumans, or it's always X-Men versus somebody, right?
Yeah.
And
so do you feel like there's actually a gathering of
it's definitely
minds here?
It's definitely it's X-Men versus some Eternals.
Okay.
Not all.
Okay. And the Avengers are
the Avengers are pretty much on the X-Men side.
Okay.
For the most part.
For the time being.
It is weird seeing an Avenger with the Phoenix Force. They actually I do appreciate that in the first AXE they make a comment about that. Mm-hmm. Like Cyclops and Jean are fighting and they see Echo with the Phoenix Force and they make a comment about this is weird.
Yeah.
But
quite a few people have had it over the last few years. So.
Yeah. But I mean, it's normally the domain of the mutants, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That the Phoenix Force bounces around. And like I said, not all Eternals are pretty much lockstep with what's happening.
Yeah.
But they're still Eternals, and so they're still. I don't want to spoil too much of it because it's actually pretty interesting. And
well, I mean, we've had the Hellfire Gala that kicked it all off, right?
Yep.
And that's been out since mid-July, so we're 2 months into this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if you're spoiling too much for people.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, the Eternals figure out, because mutants are now immortal, functionally immortal.
Yep.
That they are excess deviations.
And that's become public news now, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what that actually happened before Hellfire Gala.
Yeah, that was like June or May.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Hellfire Gala wasn't as much of a mic drop moment for the mutants as the last year's was, right? Yeah. They didn't terraform a planet in front of everybody's eyes.
There wasn't a complete rebranding.
Yeah. So now
you don't want us on this planet. We'll get our own planet.
So the current leader of the Eternals, Druig, basically decides oh, this is not good. Mutants they're an excess deviation.
Yeah.
And that's the Eternals' whole mission is to stamp out deviation, right?
Yeah.
So apparently there's their grandfather Uranos, who is not Thanos, but close. Of course, Thanos is an Eternal as well.
Yeah.
And they kind of bring grandfather Uranos out of hibernation, and he just goes ham on trying to kill the X-Men. They bring in some Celestials, so the X-Men start fighting Celestials, and then they create their own.
Their own what?
The Eternals and Avengers create their own Celestial God.
Oh.
And now the Celestial God, against their programming, has decided that the entire Earth needs to be judged.
Okay.
And so that Eternal is now judging all these people individually, and it's not looking good. It judged.
So this is hence Judgment Day.
Yeah,
I got you.
It judged poorly against Captain America.
Really?
And if Steve Rogers can't, then you're kind of hosed.
Yeah.
So everybody they tried to kill it. They didn't kill it.
Yeah.
And now the Eternals are kind of reneging. Well, the Eternals are. I don't know. The Eternals are weird. I want to like them.
Yeah.
They're so boring. But anyway, so it's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm curious to see if this brings the end of Krakoa, but I don't think it will. I think they're still riding this wave. So all right, let's sell something.
Yeah. So is Spider-Man in there?
He has not. He was in the Hellfire Gala.
Okay.
Because Moira McTaggart basically mind controlled Mary Jane. What do you need?
I need a keyboard.
You need a keyboard. Ow.
You need to have your ears.
Yep. Moira McTaggart. Mary Jane was a guest to the Hellfire Gala, and Moira McTaggart pretty much took over her body.
Oh, okay.
Because Moira is just a bad robot now.
Okay.
Long story.
Okay.
And so Spider-Man got involved with that, but that's
that's about it, huh?
That's about it. So,
well, he's been doing a whole lot of his own series issues anyway. But of course, you got Amazing Spider-Man 1000 here, 1 in 25 up for sale right now, starting at just $10. A few seconds left on it. And no takers on that one. That's okay.
Cable Wolverine. We are going to be at NYCC. We did get our booth this week. We actually got our assignment and everything. So it is probably not on the website. What was the booth number again?
We're in the 3000s.
Yeah, you sent it the other day. Or did they move us?
I think we're still in the 3000s.
Okay.
We are allowed to share that information.
Yes, we are.
This is the Amazing Fantasy 1000, 1 in 50. Start this one off at $20. We will be getting to that Thunderbolts here in just a second. If anybody wants me to run that 1 in 25, I can. Just let me know. I can rerun.
3557.
3557.
Yep, we are in booth 3557. We're kind of on the.
The room's bigger now than it was.
Yeah, they did the expansion since we've last been there.
But I think we're kind of where we were before the room got bigger, which would have been the old back wall.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Congratulations,
Neil Greener.
We're going to be doing a lot of walking for load-in.
Yes.
It's
that ain't no lie. We're going to run through these.
So in other news, Chris is escalating to another level of nerddom tomorrow night. We are having our first true session.
Okay.
Of our RPG game.
I still haven't answered all my questions.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thanks, Andrew.
I
figured the age one was probably important.
Yeah, it just
the other
like
ones I'm gonna try to fill out.
Those questions are more for you to help understand your character.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be stuck with them for a little while, so you might as well know who they are. And they're things that you don't typically think about, that I think about.
Yep.
So we're going to be starting an RPG. I have not game mastered an RPG group in well over
LARPing.
10 years.
Don't even start playing.
No.
We don't. Now there are some of Brandon and I. We don't cosplay. Okay. We might wear some nerdy T-shirts, but that's about as far as it goes. We do have a couple of guys in there that they LARP. So they even have LARPing tattoos. Like, that's how far this has gone. One of them may even be watching right now. He usually watches on our Thursday night shows. But, yeah, we know LARPy. That's not our thing.
Nope, I'm a whole lot of nerd, but dressing up ain't it. So...
Thank you for the Thunderbolts great price. Hey, I'm glad you got it, Night King.
So we are playing for those that are curious. We are playing a Savage Worlds Deadlands RPG campaign.
Yep. I always forget what it's called.
Because Deadlands is the setting. Savage Worlds is the rule set.
Yep. It's a pretty interesting. I will have to say, as far as getting into something, I feel like it's a little easier. It doesn't seem too overwhelming with not having to go into the fantasy of things, because it is kind of, there is fantasy parts of it in a way.
Yeah, it's grounded in reality. For those that don't know, Deadlands as a setting is a Weird West setting. So it's Wild West, horror, steampunk, all kind of rolled into one.
With some actual history kind of rolled in there as well.
Yeah. So how does Warhammer work? Is it like D&D? I think he's trolling you.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
I don't think that's a legit question.
It does if they do a Warhammer crossover.
There is Warhammer RPGs, though.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah. And there is also Warhammer Magic coming, so take that.
Yeah.
Yeah!
But is it like D&D? Everything's compared to D&D.
They both have miniatures and books.
Or that, or Warhammer is compared to Risk. Is it like Risk?
It in a somewhat way.
You roll dice.
Yeah. There's miniatures.
Those are pieces. I remember...
They both are played on a board.
I do remember my brother had a Risk set, and instead of dudes on horses, cannons, and standy dudes, they were Roman numerals.
Standy dudes.
Like soldiers, just bikes or whatever.
Roman numerals.
They were Roman numerals. So
it just told you how many of the.
It was a 1, a 5, or a 10.
Yeah, interesting.
Wrist pieces are bad, especially those. Yeah, those things are solid and pointy.
You ever seen doctors react to videos of people hurting themselves, and one of them's jumping on Legos? Yeah, the doctors freak out about it. When is the Sabine Rich Hulk going to drop on the app? Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And then on the website on Saturday.
That's Hulk 9, and it is featuring the new character, Monolith.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. In case you guys haven't also seen, Ghost Rider 7, we just dropped that yesterday.
Yeah.
It's available on the website and the app, and it is featuring the new character, Exhaust. So, new Ghost Rider baddie creates new demons, which is pretty cool. Just like he is every time he goes around him. And we got his first cover appearance on our website right now. If you buy the Virgin 2-pack, you get the trade dress for free. So
nice.
Do it. We can't offer that here yet because it's a pre-order. But
how did I miss that from my previous video last week?
Because we couldn't drop the art until Marvel announced it. So it is a flash sale, flash drop. Marvel announced it on Wednesday, and that is why.
So there you go.
There you go.
I felt like
you got screwed out of that.
I missed something.
Yeah, you did. You sucked. You're no longer a reporter for Unknown Comics.
I'm just a bad reporter. So, yeah.
All right. So what did we watch this week? What are we talking?
So I did want to mention something, and we can actually bring it up. Hold on.
Let's see how this works.
Let's see.
We're about to test technology.
I can make this work. I can do this.
Brandon's got.
Why is it not working? No.
Brandon effed up.
I need you to click on vMix is what I need you
to do. You done effed up, Ron?
Yep.
Hopefully it doesn't pause our stream. I guess I
should
pull that
We
up.
tested that earlier. Just go down to
vMix. My mouse was not finding me.
There we go. Okay. So now and then.
I'm going to pull up Whatnot just in case.
I can come here. Whatcha. Okay. Laptop is shared. So I was just trolling through news today.
So Brandon thinks he's being cool right now, guys.
That's just, I'm not going to lie, my nipples are pointy right now. I love technology.
Technology.
So, Sci-Fi Wire reporting that with an interview with Rian Johnson that he is more proud of The Last Jedi 5 years after his release, which I'm going to go out and say this is probably between it and Phantom Menace is probably my least favorite Star Wars movie, hands down. I just thought it was disjointed from the rest of the trilogy. Whatnot did phrase. It did it.
I told you.
You got to click on it again. No.
Hey.
Stinking Whatnot.
You got to hear us, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there kind of went. I guess it works like that.
Yeah, once you click back on it, it's fine.
Okay, so we're good. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't need it full screen the whole time.
Yeah. He destroyed that Star Wars, not all of it.
You know, so he's on record as saying that he kind of took what he was given and just swung for it, and he likes it. What do you think? What are your opinions on The Last Jedi as a Star Wars film? Yeah, so he's happy with the crap. I don't know. I don't know that it's a bad movie on an island, but I think just like what Iself just said in the Whatnot chat, it doesn't fit with anything.
That's the big thing is why did you first of all, Lucas effed this whole thing up by having different directors direct this stuff. But why did you feel like you had to go so far off topic?
Yeah.
With these characters and do them like you did.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue, right?
Yeah. So like I said, that's kind of my big thing. I mean, like I said, I think it's a fine movie, just on an island. But it's like it's an alternate history.
Well, to be honest, I'm surprised they let him do that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like somebody in the writing room would have been like, no.
Yeah.
Or, when Mark Hamill shows up and it's like, you're going to make me do what?
It's almost like what Lucasfilm was going for was a kind of, what's that game you play where you tell a story and then you stop and the next person makes up the next line?
Oh,
and
the telephone?
Yeah. Well, it's not like you're not passing a word, but you're doing this like additive story, right?
Oh, okay. Okay. Kind of like the thing you do with your phone, right? The next suggested word, you just do it.
Yeah.
Throw a sentence out there. Yeah.
So,
maybe that's what they did.
That's what they were going to do because Abrams was not supposed to come back and direct the third one.
No.
It was supposed to be
it was supposed to be three completely different directors.
The dude who did Jurassic World, Trevorrow, Colin Trevorrow. He was supposed to be the third one. And so, on the director thing, the original trilogy was three different directors.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason for that wasn't necessarily because they wanted directorial kind of difference.
Creativity, yeah.
It was for Lucas to get around the Directors Guild.
Yeah.
And to kind of just do some
They
other
all
things.
Still had the same feel.
Yeah, because he was definitely still guiding the overall
there
vision.
was unity in that.
But I don't know. I tried going back because I mentioned the other week that I went back and watched Rise of Skywalker again, and I didn't hate it as much as I thought I did.
Yeah. And I think I've only seen 7 and 8 once, or 8 and 9 one time.
One time each.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever gone back and watched them.
I caught Last Jedi on TV again the other day, and I tried, and it's
rough.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit. Like the whole casino arc was just completely pointless to everything.
That whole, like, if you just wanted Finn to not be in the story, keep him in a coma for the whole movie.
Right?
Like why even have him in there if you don't want to use him? I mean, you had a perfect out.
Yeah.
He could have just been healing the whole time.
Well, Jon Favreau would have done awesome with it, but that was kind of before we realized he was the golden savior of him, and Filoni were the golden saviors of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which, all that to say, they haven't all been bangers. I mean, people really don't like Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Up
or
to
at
a
least
point.
At least the early season.
Yeah.
Right?
Until Mando shows back up, and I think there's probably going to be a reason behind that. Like, people didn't like Boba Fett so much is because why did you change Boba Fett? And even when your actor's coming out and saying like, yeah, Boba Fett needs to become who he was.
Yeah.
I think we're probably going to get somewhat of that Boba Fett back. It's just going to be in a little bit different way, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So
let's see here. All right. And then, we're gonna do something. This may be phoning it in. I promise I'm not being lazy when I do this. I'm trying to see this without actually coming off of Whatnot and freezing it. Let's see here.
You're doing an all right job. I feel like
I can do this. It's just very hard to see my mouse. All right, there we go.
Maybe you do need some glasses.
I do have reading glasses. I just never wear them. I'm a horrible horrible person. All right, here we go. Let's do that. And we're going to go ahead and watch this most recent trailer of Rings of Power because, so you were saying this was...
This was released August 22nd, so this is pretty recent from as far as I saw.
Okay, let's take a look real quick. Whew, that's loud. Oh, we're not watching it yet. No.
My brother gave his life hunting the enemy. His task is now mine.
Production value looks really good.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the big things the reviews said is it looks like a big blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
Not fate, nor destiny.
People are up in arms about seeing a female dwarf.
Yeah, well, it's fine. They don't all have to be bearded ladies.
Each of us. Everyone.
Hey, She-Hulk's got its moments. You got to know what you're watching.
We shall be.
have proper expectations.
I am not the hero you seek.
See, I'm surprised, which I think it's fine that they did it, but
Whatever
people
it
aren't.
was you did.
You know, the purist people aren't mad that there's different races of elf,
Yeah,
which there should be. It's fine.
it's okay.
Yep, totally good. Make it
Choose
happen.
not the path of fear, but that of faith.
I know that,
I'll
that was
pause
a
it.
big complaint about the first few movies.
I'll pause it when we get to the part.
We stay true to each other with our hearts.
So, right now, so I'm pausing it right here because
Debate.
the debate is who this guy is.
Who is it? Are we going to find out tonight? I don't know. Find out in about 20 minutes, I guess.
Maybe
Maybe. Well, somebody
Or-
will.
or later.
We won't get to it.
now to explain. So Amazon is following the Gandalf
Gandalf?
Lundgren.
Dolph?
Yeah, is this Gandalf? Is this Radagast? Is this a Maiar?
He's
right?
a little
wizard.
ripped, so he might show up in a Rocky movie,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know. I mean,
You can see him talking. See, I think a lot of people right here, this is the scene a lot of people think it is Gandalf because he's talking to a halfling, and I think this is kind of
This
like
is
the
the-
start of that relationship.
the beginning of his relationship with
Right.
the hobbits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, they're not hobbits yet.
Yeah.
These are the hill
They
folk.
they haven't made their way down into the Shire yet.
Yeah. Which is it's cool that that is one thing I'm going to enjoy about that is just seeing
Like
the back
the
history
prehistory. Yeah.
flushed out.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Bigger in our feet. I can survive this.
Hairy-footed people. Hobbits is offensive. Hey, that's some of their last names, so it makes sense. You're right.
Wait, no, we keep moving.
Why do you keep fighting?
There is a tempest in me.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
Let's go, Goliath.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt.
My expectations on anything is, okay, that looks cool. Let's see. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to go into and say it's going to be so awesome that because then I will be let down. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But you know, as far as me, like Brandon knows a lot more. But I'm going through all the Lord of the Rings books right now. Brandon has probably read at least 4 Tolkien books. That's The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No, I definitely read those.
And then you probably read the Cimmerian or whatever it's called.
Silmarillion.
Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Which is basically the Tolkien Bible.
Pretty much. YouTube is playing some other weird video in the background. It's a good thing I can't hear it.
Yeah, I was about to say, good thing the audio's off on that one.
So yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yep.
I think it'll be good. For those of y'all still on Whatnot, we do have our Buy It Now collections. So we have all of our exclusive bundles, our Miguel Mercado bundles, and then the
They're really cool big
really
packs.
X-Men
these,
trade
these big
bundles.
packs, X-Men number 1 through 12 exclusives from Unknown Comics. You're going to get every cover we've produced for the trade dress. It's 18 different covers. It includes the yellow David Nakayama covers and the X-Men 1 Cal New cover. Also, we have the Virgin price of that. The Gamma ones, what can it be? I'm confused by that. And then, of course, X-Men 1 through 12 Virgin covers also available as a 20-pack. Again, every cover we've produced for X-Men series 1 through 12. That's the current Jerry Duggan series, both available right now.
Samaritan with Sly. Did you guys watch it yet? No, I just saw that for the first time. The trailer for that this week. That's the one where Sly Stallone is like a retired
Is this on
superhero.
Prime as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a retired super.
Okay.
hero.
Yeah, I think I just saw that like 2 days ago as well. So I guess it just came out. Is it good?
It's been nagging at me. I feel like that plot line has been done.
Yeah.
And I don't know where, but I can't remember what I'm thinking of. Like, it's not so much the Watchmen. Watchmen kind of has that a little bit, but
Yeah.
not really. I don't know. Like, it just feels like we've done this before.
Yeah. Like, stop it.
Yeah. So, all right.
So we've got House of Dragons and She-Hulk.
Yep.
What do you want to do first?
We can talk about She-Hulk.
That's a little faster, I think.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get too spoily into today's episode. We always want to kind of let you guys have the whole day to watch that. But today's episode was good. It really pushed the story
Yeah.
quite a bit further.
Yeah.
I will say that.
She did a lot more Steel with Shaq. Oh, I didn't even watch that.
I remember watching bits of it, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it. Except for the Still was Shaq. Shaq was
She
Still.
she did the fourth wall breaking a lot more in this episode than she has the previous ones, which is fine.
The CG when she was in normal She-Hulk attire was not very good. Like the suit just looked really weird on her. I think it looked better when it was tighter than when it was loose like that.
Like just the fabric flowing and stuff like that.
I think outside of that,
Stuff's
I really
hard.
haven't mattered though. I think it hasn't really bothered me that much.
I can't. It's a TV show. I'm tempering my expectations. Like, it is a TV show budget. They're not gonna just go out of the park with it.
Well, to be honest, it's not just a TV show budget. It's She-Hulk TV show budget.
Yeah.
Right? Like WandaVision, I feel like that one got a lot of really good stuff.
That's true. Yeah, it was
but
a
I
priority
just
thing.
feel like this one's just not as big of a deal, but
I-
it might be kind of a deal. So
I will say it's not bad enough that it's distracting me from the story.
no, not at all.
Right.
No.
And it's there. It this week did kind of almost have that law show kind of feel to it, where there's multiple stories going on.
And you
Kind
got
of like
you got a complete verdict on the new thing.
yeah,
right?
kind of. So it kind of has that that the practice Boston legal type feel, which is part of what they're going for.
Yep.
Yep. But
Curve your expectations, as I continue to say.
yeah, it's I think it's funny. I think
I was surprised to see the singer performer would I think be the better word for me for her.
I'm
the
pretty sure
performer for in this show.
I'm pretty sure the world is spoiled who that is.
Yeah.
it's not a huge plot like killer.
No, I was just surprised to see that they went that route. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting take on it.
So cameo. Or so as far as like MCU introductions, I think the trailer actually showed them. Yeah, no, for sure they did. The Wrecking Crew, Thunderball, and
Oh yeah,
all of them.
yeah, yeah. That was interesting to see them at the end.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, and you could tell they were using Asgardian
Tech.
stuff, which is completely true to what they are.
Yeah.
And I thought like even and I think you'll see them again. It does allude to a larger plot arc.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll see them again because that's probably going to be the rest of the show. Your antagonist, right there.
But this will be my report on every MCU episode drop or movie drop. No mutants yet. I'll
physically inform
yes.
in the written documentation. Yes.
Like I honestly like I'm at the point with the current MCU phase that everything I watch, I'm like,
When is it happening?
when's it happening?
When's it happening?
And I'm worried that once it happens, I'm going to be like, all right, I'm done.
So straight up though, now that we can talk about last week's stuff.
Yeah,
They do mention Wolverine
they do mention Wolverine.
in an article.
You would have to like,
And technically,
Eagle Eye-
we don't know if Kamala Khan is a mutant.
I mean, they played the sound.
They did, and they said she was mutated, but she could be an Inhuman mutated. So we don't know.
Yeah,
It could be a mutant already in the MCU. We need more confirmation.
Let's say, so no X-Men yet.
No,
let's say that.
There we go. Yeah. You go.
And like I said, that's what the end of Ms. Marvel speculated, that there are mutants. I heard getting to the topic of mutants in the MCU. Let's do this. Why we haven't seen mutants yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a really good theory, and like this is the one for me that holds water. It is because the Kang that we saw in Loki, there's something about mutants and him maintaining that timeline that he purposefully prevented mutants from happening when he was, purging the timelines and keeping the time stream.
Yeah.
That basically he was preventing mutants because there is something about mutants that would have broken the time stream.
Or he's afraid of him.
He's either afraid of them, or
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't do so well.
or
in those
other
universes.
other Kangs would benefit from them
That too. Yep.
being around, right? So that's my prevailing theory. That
Because Sony doesn't own the rights.
Sony's
to
never owned
mutants.
the rights to the mutants. It was Fox
Yeah.
until Disney ate Fox.
Yeah. They said, "Hello, we're gonna be."
They said we're getting these back.
Yeah.
and the Fantastic Four, and yeah,
Yep.
the Spider-Verse is the only Marvel outlier now.
Yeah. Yeah. All the Spidey characters.
So
Which I guess we'll see if Olivia Wilde's Spider movie still makes it after all the conference.
So you know what I did not
stuff she's
realize?
getting.
I did not realize that until I read House of X 92, which is the X-Men 92 kind of. They're
Like the remake, right? The
Yeah,
retelling.
they're retelling the House of X story
Yep.
through the X-Men 92, which has actually been really fun. Madam Web is a mutant.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. And sure enough, looked it up. Yep.
So she's in the Sonyverse.
She's a mutant.
Okay. Maybe
Da,
that's
da,
how
da.
that's how they bring him in.
I don't know.
That's an interesting thing.
I've never associated. It's kind of like Namor being a mutant, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they were a thing. Doesn't Universal still own the?
I think until next year
they
or really, really soon.
Yeah. They don't own the character, but they do own the rights to.
Yeah, but I think those
solo
do.
stuff.
I think I saw an article that says it reverts back like really, really soon.
Yeah.
So no worries there. By the time we get to the World War Hulk movie, which again last week we can talk about this, Hulk be gone. He on a ship,
He on a Sakaran ship.
and
Specifically.
we
He's
might
going-
be getting that movie.
He's
so,
going. He's going back to see his boy.
Yeah. So maybe more things happen on that planet than we thought.
So yeah. So House of Dragons. So it's been a couple weeks. So we'll go ahead and talk about episode 1 a little bit in detail.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, so I have to sit here and think about it after I've watched what was episode 1, what was episode 2.
So one's your timeline intro, and we have a battle baby scene.
Battle baby scene. The baby scene was rough.
Yes.
That was a triggering warning right there.
Yeah. They actually got called out for that quite a bit for not having a trigger warning on
Yeah,
that.
that was eh. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was kind of an expository episode, right?
Yeah. The second episode is a 6-month jump, so automatically we're getting time jumps.
Yep.
Won't go too spoiler into it, although it has been out for almost a week already. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. Of course, like I said, they're setting everything up right now. I think really a lot of stuff's going to start hitting when they get to the third, like the adult cast.
Yeah. Yes, much more dragons
Yes.
than you've ever seen before.
I would like to see them like do a scene where you can actually see every dragon that's in there right now.
Yeah, all 9 of them.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah, I just like I said last week. I like seeing the Targaryens in Westerosi society because they dominated that society for the longest time, right? And,
Yep.
and it's seeing King's Landing with all the the multi-headed dragon banners and stuff like that. It's just
It's a
interesting.
really cool crest to see for sure. Seeing him go straight back to Dragonstone, like you didn't even see that till the end of the Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Which you don't see Dragonstone until episode 2, so you're spoiling episode 2 by the way.
oh well, they're gonna see it.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's been a week.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it.
Had your time.
Like it reminded me. I will say House of Dragons is reminding me about why I liked the original Game of Thrones. Yeah, you should watch it.
You should. It's good. I liked it.
And it seems like, and of course, George R. R. Martin actually has had a lot more to do with it.
Yeah, and I think
Much like the original seasons.
he's come out and said that too, that he didn't get that creative control that he should have with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But he does. You can even see it in the rights and the credits that they give before that this is created for TV. Like he's got his hands in it. So
Which for
is
those
great.
that don't know, he started as a TV writer.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that
I
was-
think
that
most
was his
people
original-
know that the way he's wrote his books is he expected it at some point to be made into.
Yeah, they're very episodic in the way he writes them.
Yep.
And it shows. Of course, this story is you can read the short story because I think the short stories started in 2014. That kind of set up all of this. So
Yeah, it's been interesting. I've actually been reading a lot of articles. They're like, "This is going to spoil the rest of the seasons for you," but I'm like, I don't care. So it's pretty
so
cool
I
to just
saw-
see the little nuggets. is
I
what
saw an
like.
interview with him this week, or read an interview. I didn't see an interview. Read an interview. He fully expects there to be like a Game of Thrones
Universe.
Yeah. And just telling all the stories.
Which, if we would have gotten all three of those shows greenlit and the other two not canceled, we would already have that right now.
Yeah.
So,
And they could always bring him back, right?
Yeah,
they're still totally optioned.
I think as far as it goes right now, if this takes off and it looks like it is, that they'll, oh yeah, let's get that rolling. Let's get it going. AT&T and Warner Brothers are like, "Where's the money?" It's over there on Game
Yeah.
of Thrones.
Do we see a Stark series? Well, one of the series we were supposed to get was a young Ned Stark series, right?
Yep.
And
then the other one was even further back than this, kind of all the way back to kind of like things being created in a
yeah,
way.
the beginning of the Night Watch. And all that stuff. So
They did mention the wall this time, which is interesting.
yeah.
So now we know that there is a wall already there, and it's being manned and everything like that. So
Wish they would make a TV show like Game of Thrones in the D&D universe without the crappy jokes. Okay. I'm going to watch the D&D movie. I think it'll be fun. I think there's going to be enough fan service in it. I think it's just they're going for a tone that worked for. I mean, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
yeah,
I mean that's what they're going for.
yeah.
And
I don't think Chris Pine would have jumped onto it if he didn't think
If
it
it was
was
serious.
somewhat good.
do you remember there was a serious tone D&D movie back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was god awful terrible.
I only remember the one with one of the brothers in it. That was a D&D movie, right? One of the Wayans brothers. Was that a
Yes.
D&D movie?
Yep. That was it.
Is that the serious? That's the
Yes.
serious one.
I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't like slapstick. It was bad. I think they can do a lot with it.
Yeah, they do. They still do. That just had.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I-
Goodness.
I think they can do, and supposedly Wizards had a lot of input on, like the writers were definitely collaborating with them to make sure things were true to, D&D, core
Lore.
canon.
Yeah.
And so
up, comic
whereas
exposure?
the one that came out, the Wayans brother, the Marlon Wayans, whatever that other kid's name was.
Were they
it
both
just-
in it?
No, it was
just the
some other
younger
white kid.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The
No,
younger
it was
brother.
just Marlon Wayans.
Yeah. 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 I was like, man.
It was just like it was just a fantasy movie. There was nothing that connected it to D&D.
Yeah.
Whereas for the first time on camera, we're seeing owlbears and displacer beasts and beholders and gelatinous cubes and mimics. Like, we're seeing these very iconic D&D,
fantasy characters,
or specifically D&D fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Those particular types of fantasy beasts were not based on other mythologies or Tolkien or something like that. That was very much TSR's creation. And there's lots of the D&D books, like the Dragonlance, Chronicles saga, which they did animated versions of those, or they did Autumn Twilight.
Yep.
And it was okay.
Yeah.
It's hard making books into movies.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? D&D is such a huge multiverse.
Yeah.
Why not make something unique? Then people can't compare it to the book. Right?
I think that's the reason why a lot of these moviegoers, they're like, just letting you know, it's going to have some of these things in there, but we're making our own version of it. It's kind of like, via The Witcher, right? The Witcher's got a lot of the same things that the books have. It's got a lot of the same things that the video games have, but they're still doing their own version of the story.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
You have to make movies, you have to make games, you have to make books, and they have to be made differently.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no way around
I think as long as the core of the characters are the same, we should all be okay with it.
Yeah. So will they eventually do like a Dritz movie in the Forgotten Realms? I mean, they could.
Let's see where the money takes it.
Yeah, exactly. This movie's gonna have to rock it. But a Dritz movie is not gonna have the same tone as a Chris Pine led,
D&D movie.
Rogues movie, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it was really cool actually in San Diego. They turned an entire bar into a D&D tavern. I didn't get a chance to go in, but even just seeing it from the outside looked freaking amazing. So,
yeah,
it will be a killer movie.
No, it won't.
It won't be a killer movie.
No, it won't. It will be a killer movie. Okay. There needs to be a comment there.
Nobody does punctuation,
so
don't worry about it.
All right. Do we want to do our final giveaway?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, hopefully, for those of you who are watching on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube Live, you have gotten over to our Whatnot and gotten signed up to where you can enter our giveaway drawing. So let's.
Any fantasy books that should be made into a series or movie?
Oh, Mamacita.
I don't know if it's. I don't know if you'd call it fantasy. It's sci-fi more. They did get a movie, the Pittacus lore stuff. They started off in like the fourth book. I really wish they would have done that better, because overall it is a pretty good story.
There was a series of books. They were about this young kid who finds out he's got magical powers, and then he gets sent off to this school.
Sounds like an X-Men movie.
Yeah. No.
Hey, First Ronin, that is a really nice profile pic. Calling you out right there. That is a TMNT Last Ronin. Nico Suwayan exclusive from Unknown Comics is your profile pic right there. I love it.
There's a ton of fantasy properties that they've tried to and have failed, right? So, like Dark Tower, Dune is getting its second shot at a film.
And Dune was great. I think a lot of it's just maybe sometimes you need that first go around to see what you did wrong.
Maybe. I would love to see the Dragonlance Chronicles as a film.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it would have to be done right.
Yeah.
It's great books don't always equal great films, right?
No.
But I would like to see that. Chris and I, the Horus Heresy would be cool to see on film.
It would
for Warhammer 40K.
And that's I guess that would be like a huge, and I know that right now the big reason for that is because they just don't feel like they probably have the fan base to do that. But I think they're working on it.
Yeah.
They're working on it.
There's a lot of
Circle of Time. Is that the Wheel of Time?
Yeah, Wheel of Time got the Amazon.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Have I watched? Yeah, I've watched the first season of that. It was good. It was okay. I didn't mind it. I think it's getting a second season. I think it was already greenlit before it even had already hit. Oh, also something House of Dragons. After the first episode got greenlit for a second season already. So
yeah. So next week I will not be here. Chris will be here. I'm trying to think. D23 starts next Saturday, a week from Saturday.
Oh, so we get to watch Pinocchio next week.
Yeah. So September 8th, Thor and Pinocchio drop on Disney Plus Day. Yeah, because the 8th of this Disney Plus Day, D23 starts the next day, the 9th.
I usually watch all Tom Hanks movies. It might take me a while to watch that.
I'm not going to be here the next 2 weeks.
You're such a jerk.
I am a jerk. I'm not going to be here to recap D23. Oh, man. I'm sorry.
I don't think Amarillo got Rogue One. I think Darren's already seen it where he's at, so
Plus,
I think it's already happened, I guess.
Plus, our IMAX isn't a true IMAX, so that could be one reason.
And the chairs are
crap.
Terrible!
Yeah, we don't go to that one anymore.
Just go to the RPX if you're going to go to that theater.
Yep.
At least you get to lean back a little bit.
Yeah, so no Rogue One. But actually, a buddy of mine, we're going to watch it in his home theater because he has pretty legit home theater.
Sweet.
So, but yeah.
But you don't get a poster? You can print your own off.
I would not have a place in my house to put said poster. I do not have man cave.
Yep.
But anyway, so I will be gone the next 2 weeks. Sad. So Chris will be here. I'm sure you'll press gang somebody into co-hosting with you, so you're not here talking by yourself. That'd be awkward. I mean, y'all would have to be the second co-host. You can bring Dakota in or Cody. You're not going to be here, are you?
I'll be here.
You liar. How is Tanner? Tanner's doing good. He's actually going to be in an RPG group.
We'll see him tomorrow
night. So he's doing
good. Better
good.
bring good candy. Just kidding. Or at least good snacks.
It'll be Reese's.
It'll be Reese's.
Best candy ever.
Yeah. I think we've eaten through most of the first batch. So he can just sing to us? No, that's not my thing.
He can sing to us. For
an hour.
You can sing for an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. They may want that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Chris will be back next week with another Unknown Comics podcast. I will see you in a couple weeks.
Loser.
Yeah, work
Thanks,
stuff.
Mike. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
All right.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys being a part of it. See you later.
Bye-bye.